Good evening. Welcome to join us tonight for the European Study Talk. In general, what we have major in university would be a great factor for our career path. And it all start with our option. And tonight our feature school, Catholic University of Murcia, which is UCAM University from Spain, will bring those options to you. Let's welcome Michelle, and she's in charge of Asia enrollment for UCAM University. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Jade. Good evening, everyone. First of all, thank you, Jade, and also the EEFT team for having UCAM in this platform so that we can share more about the education in Spain and also the programs that we offer. With Europe becoming more popular as a study destination, I believe Spain is a great option to consider. So let me just share my screen. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Kong. I'm the Asia delegate for UCAM Spain. And together with me here today is Dr. Fernando and Dr. Anna, who are the experts in bachelor's in dentistry, and they will talk more about it later on. So let me just go through my slides. So today we will talk about Discover Dentistry and also other English taught programs with guaranteed work experience in UCAM Spain. So first, I will introduce about Spain itself and UCAM in general. Then I will pass the floor to Dr. Fernando and Dr. Anna to talk more about one of our most popular programs for international students, which is the bachelor's degree in dentistry. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with Spain itself. So many people know Spain because of, let's say, football or food, but Spain offers much more than that. So here is what you will get. First of all, Spain is a world leader in water cycle management and also vehicle electrical technology. This is something that is gaining popularity globally. Spain is also known as one of the most competitive and innovative countries in the world. So being in Spain means that you will have the opportunity to see great developments and also widen your perspective. Spain is the 12th country with the best reputation, even ahead of UK, Germany, and France. So you can be rest assured of the quality of life and also the education in Spain. Next is the rich culture and history Spain has to offer. There's a lot of things to do and see in Spain, and that is why it is the second most visited country in the world. So you will get to immerse yourself and experience different fiestas, foods, and places. It's definitely much better than just watching it on YouTube. Now, in terms of weather and accessibility, Spain is one of the sunniest countries in Europe. We have up to 350 sunny days in a year. So with this lovely weather, it's easy to plan outdoor activities like going to the beach or playing outdoor sports. And of course, traveling. You can easily hop onto a train or a plane and travel freely within the Central countries. This gives you the opportunity to have a European tour. You might be surprised to find out that the cost to study in Spain is much lower than many other popular study destinations, such as US, UK, Australia, Canada, and also New Zealand. On average, the cost of living in Spain is about 20% more affordable than in the US. And additionally, you will be able to work up to 20 hours a week while studying. After graduation, you can also apply for a job search visa that allows you to stay on for another 12 months. Last but not least, the language. So Spanish is actually spoken by over 500 million people as a mother tongue. It's the second in the world after Chinese or Mandarin. So being in Taiwan, naturally, you're fluent in Chinese or Mandarin. Why not pick up Spanish as well? It is the second most spoken language in the US and the official language in 22 countries. So imagine yourself being fluent in Mandarin, Chinese, English, and also in Spanish. Your CV is going to be outstanding when you're looking for a job. So here is the map of Spain. we are in Southern Europe, neighboring Portugal and France. I'd like to bring your attention to Murcia, which is the 7th largest city in Spain. Let me just zoom in. And here you will find Universidad Católica de Murcia, or UCAM. So there are more than 80 universities in Spain, divided by public and also private universities. UCAM is known as a private Catholic university. We started off 25 years ago, offering a lot of European titles in various fields to choose from, ranging from a bachelor's level up to a PhD level. Students can choose to study in English taught or Spanish taught programs. And being a private university, we love to give personalized attention to our students. So all of our students will have their own personal tutor. Now let's see some facts and figures about UCAM. So we have about 11,400 undergraduate students, about 3,000 master students, and 500 plus doctorate students. Of these, we have about 11% of international students coming from all over the world. Although we are a relatively young university, we have a good growth. We started off with like 600 plus students, and now we are well over 19,000 students. Our growth is also recognized internationally in our rankings. We are ranked top 400 in the World Young University rankings. And as we emphasize a lot on teaching and learning, we are the 10th in Europe for the quality of education. And we have 5 stars in internationalization, inclusiveness, and teaching in the QS stars rating system. So you can be rest assured of the quality of education that UCAM is providing. Fun fact, we are also known as the University of Sports. Sports is part of UCAM's DNA. We have been winners of Spain University Championships. We have the best athletes. In fact, we are the only university with the most Olympic representatives in the recent Tokyo Games. We have 21 federated teams sponsored and managed by UCAM and have a lot of different sports facilities such as the UCAM Sports Center, which is a high-tech gym. Students in their first year would have free access. Now, talking about the campus and location, our campus is a huge historical building built in the 17th century called the Hieronymus Monastery. We are only 4 km away from the Murcia city, and it is very accessible for students via bus or even a tram. Here's a glimpse of some of our facilities. Since we offer a lot of different disciplines in English taught or Spanish taught, we also have a lot of facilities for our students. Take, for example, dentistry. We have our own dental clinic, and students have their own cubicle for practice. So for all of our programs, we practice person-to-person, face-to-face. Our class sizes are kept small, and whenever our students have any issues, they can easily go up to their personal tutor. Our curriculum is also designed to have learning in action, which means that students will definitely have practical lessons, internships, or even research opportunities. Since we are one of the top private universities in Spain, we also work with the top companies in Spain so that our students have the opportunities to work there. Now, being in UCAM doesn't mean that you're stuck here in Spain itself. We are open and global in a sense that we do have exchange programs with more than 340 universities around the world. So students would have the chance to have exchange programs with universities in Singapore, in Chile, Mexico, US, and more. So let's see what UCAM has to offer, starting from a bachelor's degree. We only have one intake a year, which is generally in October. And you can choose from English taught programs or Spanish taught programs. The English ones are here. We have bachelor's in business administration, dentistry, physical activity and sports science, psychology, as well as pharmacy. The fees for these 4 to 5 years bachelor's degrees programs are rather affordable. To give you a perspective, taking example of dentistry, the total fees for this 5 years program is similar or even lower than what is offered in Malaysia private universities. You can also choose to study in the bachelor's degree in Spanish by first going into a Spanish preparatory program for a year to improve your Spanish language before going into the degree itself. Generally, the bachelor's degree in Spanish would cost slightly lesser than the English taught programs. In master's level, we have slightly more programs taught in English. We have bilingual education, EU studies and human rights, MBA, hospitality management, innovation and tourism marketing, high performance sports, MBA sports management, management of sports entities, and also sports marketing. So as you know, sports is one of our popular fields. So that's why we also have quite a selection of sports related programs. Intake is usually in November, and some of our programs, their intake is in January. Similarly, you could also opt to go for the Spanish taught degree programs after going into a year of Spanish classes. We also offer some programs online. For English taught programs, we have the Masters in Hospitality Management, Masters in Innovation and Tourism Marketing, and Masters in International Relations, which is gaining popularity. On top of that, we also have a language school, which does not only teach Spanish and English, we also teach other languages, which also includes sign language. So students who are interested can take up these extra paid classes while they are in campus. Now, lastly, we also have PhD programs, our official doctorate programs that are in English. We have computer technology and environmental engineering, health sciences, social sciences, and also sports sciences. We are the third private university in Spain for scientific production. Now you might wonder, what does it take to enter into any of our programs? Now for a bachelor's degree, we are looking at a minimum of 65% in the year 12 exams. That would be a senior high school, A-levels, or IB. For dentistry and pharmacy, we are looking at a minimum of 75%, which includes mathematics, biology, and chemistry. For master's level, we generally accept a CGPA of 3.0 and above, but we are rather flexible because we also look into the CV, working experience, and also motivational letter. For hospitality management and high performance sports, we would prefer the students to have a relevant background. And lastly, for doctorate, we are looking at a minimum of 80% in the master's degree. This is a very highly competitive entry, and there is a separate admissions process for this. Now, for the entry requirements based on language. So for English, we are looking at a B2 level or equivalent. That means like IELTS 5.5 and 6 and above, or TOEFL 72 and above. In the case if English was the medium of instruction in your high school or in your bachelor's level, you could get a letter of medium of instruction from the institution, and we can waive the IELTS requirement. For Spanish, it's similar. We are looking at a B2 level. If you're looking to join the Spanish preparatory program, you will need to have a minimum level of English, preferably A2, because it's the language used to teach Spanish. Okay, so here is an overview of the admissions process to give you an idea on how it works. First of all, we will need to gather the access documents, which are shown here. You will need your passport copy, your academic transcripts. If you're applying for a bachelor's degree, we would need your year 10, 11, and 12, or your senior high school 1, 2, and 3. If you're applying for a master's degree, then we will need the bachelor's degree transcripts. Next would be the certificate, language proficiency certificate or letter, statement of purpose or motivation letter, and also a CV. if students are looking to join the sports science program, then we need a medical test, but this can be also provided at a later stage. So once we go through all these documents and you're eligible to apply, we will set a personal interview. So this interview is more of a get to know you session where we learn more about the student and also for students to ask us any questions regarding Spain or UCAM. Once everything is settled, then we can move on to the application itself. That would be step 3. So in step 3, you will need to make an online registration that would allow you, that will provide you a free student number. And then you will need to pay a payment of 120 euros for application. Once we have this, then we will send it to the faculty for approval and you will get a conditional offer letter. Now, all of our programs have limited spaces. So to secure your seat, you will need to make a deposit. After you make the deposit, we will issue an acceptance letter that you will be using for your visa application. So the next step would be legalization of your documents and also the visa application process. And then last of all, once you arrive in Spain, you will need to present your original documents or a true copy to the admissions. Then you can go on and enjoy your classes. So this might be overwhelming at this stage, but not to worry. If you plan to apply, we will be guiding you every step of the way. Now, briefly on scholarships, we do have up to 15% of the first year. Now, this depends on your academic performance and also your family background. There will be a separate interview for scholarships, and this will be conducted after you successfully apply for the program. Now, one other thing that you might be thinking about is how much does it cost for you to stay in Spain? Now, Murcia is well known for its warm hospitality, and of course, the cost of living would be lesser than many bigger cities. You're looking to spend about 600 to 800 euros a month, which is quite a reasonable budget considering Spain itself or even Europe itself. Now, before I pass on to my colleagues, I just wanted to show you also our locations across the world. We have 3 campuses in Spain. The first one is Murcia, which is what I showed you earlier, my background. Next would be Cartagena. Cartagena is in the region of Murcia as well, nearby. We also do offer the Bachelor of Dentistry in English in this campus. The third one will be in Madrid. This is more towards the sports-related programs. And we have another 2 language schools that will be in Dubai and in Jakarta. We also have international offices across the world to help international students like yourself. For myself, I'm based in Malaysia. All right, so I hope my quick presentation gives you an idea on how is it like to study in Spain, particularly in UCAM. And now I would like to pass the floor to Dr. Fernando and also Dr. Anna to talk more about one of our popular programs, which is Bachelor's Degree in Dentistry. Hi, Dr. Fernando. Dr. Anna.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
Can you hear us well? Is the sound right?
Sorry, come again?
It is the sound is right? Is sounding
Yes,
right?
correct.
You can hear us, right?
Yes,
okay.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so welcome to this presentation, and thank you as well, because this nice presentation about our university and also about our city and our country. So really thank you. Okay, so with me is also Dr. Anna, which is the coordinator of the bachelor degree here in Murcia, and I'm the coordinator also in Cartagena. So really welcome to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, that are at the other side. And allow me just to give a little more in depth how our degree actually is already developed. Okay, this degree is a bilingual bachelor's degree in dentistry. Bilingual means that at the beginning, we will use much more the English. So when you arrive to the university, we will have most of the subjects already taught in English, and therefore you need a proper English, so at least you have this B2. So we can follow, and you can follow all the presentations and all the professors. But at the moment you pass to the third year, in the third year there is a switch in our degree. Okay, the first and the second year are degrees that are more theoretical. So in a certain way, you will learn all the foundations for your profession, all the foundations of medicine, all the foundations on dentistry and biology. And therefore, after that switch, you will become a little bit more practical. You will start to enter into your profession. So you will understand how dentistry already works, how are the treatments, how you can actually manage and communicate with your patients. And therefore, for that reason, you need to increase your level of Spanish. And then for that, and since you are in Spain, and most of your patients will be actually Spanish, you will need this Spanish proficiency. So still, if you arrive at the campus with an A2, which is a good level of Spanish, actually you can get here with courses that already, Michelle already talked to you, that we have here available at campus. You can improve your level of Spanish at the same time that if you want to improve your level of English. And therefore, by the third year, you will be able to actually enter into the clinic and justify this B2 to enter into our clinic. That is very nice, and you will see that actually you will learn a lot with our professions. Our professionals actually are all dentists from the third year. So actually you will get the best, okay, from the best that we already have it. Already we have an entire clinic that is already fully working and functional since like 4 years ago, and that is in the center of Murcia. But also, dentistry now is just working in 2 campuses and in both sides. In Murcia, but also is working in Cartagena. And in Cartagena, by the end of this year, we will already have another clinic. So actually, the students from Cartagena don't have to actually go to Murcia and make the practices. We will have another clinic that will be working in Cartagena, and therefore both campuses will be working independently one each other. Both campuses has their own building, and we have this Faculty of Sciences and Medicine in which the students are located, and we already have all those laboratories for microbiology, biochemistry, and as well we have a special room that we call it preclinic, in which our students will start to just try to simulate all the treatment that we will have with all the dentist procedures that you will actually experience in your patients after the 4th and 5th year. Okay, we have the latest cutting edge technology, and therefore there are some adaptation in your curriculum that already we have it. Like for instance, there is one specific subject that we have in the 1st year in which we actually teach you how to manage 3D dimensional structures, how to manage to make creations by your own. So we have this digital dentistry, okay, subject in the 5th year. So at the moment you arrive to the campus, as already you hear it, you will have all the professors that are already here for you. Also, you will have your tutor. Your tutor usually are professors that are already here at the university working, and therefore they already know about your problems. And at the moment you have any problem, you have any consult to make, you can just tell us and we will try to solve it. Also this year, we are lucky to start the buddy program. The buddy program is actually some students for years that already have here at the university, like for the 3rd and 5th year on dentistry, that also will offer their help for you. So you will have also the help for the students that already know and pass through all the problems and all the things that probably you will have it. Our degree was already recognized here in Spain. It's a degree that has 5 years. Okay, it contains more than 60 hours of class. Already I sent to Michelle all the a table just containing what is the distribution of the different subjects. So actually you can compare with the Taiwanese, okay, government, and therefore you have and you will be able to evaluate how useful it is for you when you return to Taiwan and you want to make the convalidation of your studies. Even though here at the university, we have the soil services. The soil service is one department that is fully dedicated to practices. It's practices with companies, practices with private clinics that already we signed these agreements, and therefore for all our students that came from campuses and came from other countries that already need some extra practices and justify some extra curricular activities, already we have that department that will be grateful just to give you the welcome and try to help you to actually get that proficiency. So at the moment you just return to your country, you will be able to actually solve your problem, right? So I want us to give you the welcome to our university if you already are deciding to inscribe in our degree. I have to tell you, and these are the bad news, that this degree is the most difficult degree of the entire university. So just think that when you arrive here to the campus, we will have the difficult task that in 2 years, we have to become you physicians. And then after that, in 3 years, we will have to become you dentist and small surgeons. That is really a difficult task. Therefore, when you arrive to the campus, you have to make sure that actually this is what you wanted. Because at the moment you arrive here, is everything is work, study, okay? And you will have to work hard. Because first, this is like medicine. So you will study a lot of the subject that already the guys from medicine will study. But you have only 5 years, only 5. The guys from medicine has some 6 and then has a specialization. You have just 5. And there is another condition that is, this is the first and the only degree of science bilingual. So you need proficiency in Spanish and in English. So that means that at the end of your formation, you have a double degree that will be able you to practice in any country in the world that actually have Spanish or has language as the core idiom in their country. So that will open you a lot of doors, a lot of ways to explore your professionality in different countries. So really welcome if you decided to do it. Right now, if you want to make any question, Dr. Anna and I are really grateful just to give you an answer. You can just write on the chat your question, or maybe if Michelle want to give you the speaker, maybe you just can ask you anything you want. Thank you, Michelle, for inviting us to this Asia event.
Thank you.
We have a lot of students from Asia, not only in dentistry, but also in the entire university. I have to tell you that we have students from India, we have students from Vietnam, Thailand, we have from Taiwan, we have from China. So we have so many students that already are arriving from Asia that are really welcome to our university. So thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Dr. Fernando, for your insights. And yes, of course, dentistry is the hardest program that we have in the university, but no pain, no gain, right? Like we said, you're gonna learn a lot, you're gonna have the proficiency in English and Spanish that opens a lot of doors for future employments. So thank you very much.
You will become surgeons. You will perform surgeries. You will be dentists. So it's not just you will feel teeth. Actually, you will make much more than that.
Right.
The degree in dentistry is not just filling teeth. It's much more than that. endodontics, orthodontics, I mean, oral surgery, the treatment and diagnosis of tumors is so much than that.
Yes, that is really interesting, and I really hope that the students here are prepared for it. So definitely the floor right now to see if there are any questions that students may have. Jade, do you see any questions from the floor?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hi, Dr. Fernando, Dr. Anna. I'm
Hello.
Jay. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yes,
Hello.
I'm the host from Taiwan. Nice to meet you here, and thank you for introduction. Especially specialized about the dentist program for us. Now let's welcome all the questions from the audience. Please feel free to leave your message on Q&A part, and we can answer it.
How are the scholarships given, and shall we apply for it or automatically put in the pool? Okay, so from Paul, so for scholarships, it is not automatically given. This would be a separate session whereby we have a scholarship interview, and it is based on your academic performance and also your family background. So after you apply for the bachelor's in dentistry, then we will put you into the scholarship interview session, and then we will evaluate it to award you the scholarships accordingly. And for your second questions, if my English or Spanish is not good enough, is there any pre-programs for me? Yes, definitely. We do have a pre-program. We have a English preparatory program and a Spanish preparatory program that you can go for before you join into the bachelor's degree.
Also, if I can tell something else more, Michelle, also dentistry is the only degree at the university that is in the curriculum, actually has 2 subjects that are dedicated for the Spanish. So that means that 2 subjects of this degree is Spanish for dentistry. So specifically in the first and the second year, you will also learn specific vocabulary for dentistry in Spanish. Okay, so that is something that is an extra. So if you have a level of Spanish, also in our CV and in your CV, you will have these 2 subjects that will give you some proficiency as well in the Spanish literature from dentistry.
Which means
Right.
like a school also offer like language classes for students if they don't master in Spanish.
Sorry?
Does that mean like school also offer like, for example, free language programs or courses for students if they don't have any, say, Spanish ability?
Okay, there is a couple of things. These 2 subjects are included in the CV. So when you are paying for your inscription, you have these 2 subjects already included, right?
And you need to pass it.
Okay, and you need to pass it. Like if you are passing anatomy, you have to pass the Spanish for dentistry. If you pass microbiology, you have to pass a Spanish for dentistry, okay? Additionally, the university is already just giving the option to the students to actually doing it. And for the degree in dentistry, so far, the offering is for free. So actually, is included. So you have these courses to actually be sure that you get the B2. Okay, so far at the university, we don't know exactly what will happen in the future, right? But at this point, right now at the university, the 4 years that already we have it on dentistry, the Spanish that they are getting to improve the levels to enter into the clinic are so far for free.
All right. Let's have a next questions. So this audience is a senior student with master degree in law. Is there any like program in UCAM that don't require any academic, like relevant academic background, or what would you suggest for this audience?
All right. So for Diana, there are a lot of options that we have other than dentistry, of course, in the master's level. We have, for example, European Union Studies and Human Rights or like international relations, which is online, that could be related to what you're already studying, which is in law, slightly related. Apart from that, we also do have like MBA or other programs like bilingual education that you might be interested in. Being over 45 years old is not an issue. It's not an issue at all. It's still possible to apply for this, and we will evaluate your academic plus your CV for the admissions process.
Right. On top of that, is any program, say like master program, like may require similar academic background for applicants?
Right. So take, for example, the masters in high performance sports. Usually we would require the students to have a bachelor's in sports sciences, which we also offer, physical activity and sports sciences. But in the case that the student doesn't have this background, but has a little bit of science background and has some sort of like experience in the field and wants to join in, we do accept this kind of students as well, looking at their CV. Now, there are two different types of awards or titles that we have in the master's level. The first one would be an official title, and the other one would be a university title. So for those students who does not meet the academic requirements, we can accept them for a university title program. This would be a degree conferred by UCAM. It's still recognized internationally, but it's just that if the student would like to proceed with a PhD, then unfortunately this university title wouldn't allow them to proceed with a PhD. But if they want to work elsewhere, you know, in a private company and stuff like that, this is very well recognized.
Sure. Perfect. Yes. So when the school is evaluating the applicant's profile, is there any priority of either criteria for the overall application? Like, for example, would be the grade or their language or their background matters more than other requirements?
So when we are accepting applications, first of all, we would look at the academic performance. Take, for example, like, you know, dentistry. We need to make sure that the student has the background in mathematics, biology, and chemistry, because those are the foundations that they need before they go into this intensive degree, correct? So the students will have to have this specific subjects and a minimum of 75% and above. Then we also take into consideration their motivation letter and also their CV. We will look at the interview session as well. We are looking at students who would like to share more with us in terms of their background and also their motivation to study in Spain, particularly in UCAM. And basically, we are looking at everything before, different kinds of aspects before we offer them the offer letter itself. So for what I would say the most important would be the academic first, because that is the first thing to step into the degree program.
Can we probably recap all the required, say, criteria for applicants? For example, what would be the grade they need to have? What's the minimum GPA? And what would the minimum score for their language test? Just give them.
Sure. I might have gone a bit too fast earlier. So recapping back into the entry requirements for academic. So for a bachelor's degree, we're looking at a minimum of 65% in their year 12 exams. That would be the senior high school 3, A levels, or even IB. So particularly for dentistry and pharmacy, we need to have 75% and above, which also includes mathematics, biology, and chemistry. Now for masters, usually we look at a CGPA of 3.0 and above, but if students have lesser than that, 2.5, 2.8, we could also take a look at it because we also look at the motivation letter as well as the CV.
Right.
As for the languages, we are looking at a B2 level. So in English, it would be like IELTS 5.5 to 6 and above. TOEFL would be 72 and above. So the good thing here is also that if, let's say, English was the medium of instruction in the high school or their bachelor's degree, we just need a language letter, meaning medium of instruction letter from that institution to replace the need of an IELTS or a TOEFL.
In cases, like for example, the program of dentistry accept student to enroll from the bachelor, like can the student like in Taiwan we have say G, it's our own like say as a equivalent to the university entrance exam. Is it a requirement for we call it GSAT? I'm not sure whether you're familiar with it. Do they need to submit any relevant scores of this, or should they just submit their high school transcript for the application? Since you mentioned they need to be like 75% in there, especially in biology, chemistries, etc.
Sorry, Jake, could you repeat your question again?
So for high school student in Taiwan, when they try to enter university, they have to take GSAT. It's kind of university entrance exam. When they applying for UCAM, should they submit this score as well, or their high school transcript would be enough for the application?
Essentially, we are looking at the high school results.
Yeah, the GSAT.
Yeah,
I mean,
essentially, we're looking at the
yeah, since you mentioned like for the bachelor program, they
Mhm.
need to be 65% for general and 75 for the dentistry program. What would be the document they need to submit? It's a their high school transcript.
Yes, that's right. So for we ultimately need their high school transcripts. It's their senior high school 1, 2, and 3, or year 10, 11, and 12 in the case of A-levels or IB.
Okay, very cool. All right. I think we have some questions. Uh, Probably Michelle, would you like to probably elaborate on it more? Since we did mention it, it's about a language program, language courses for students to study.
Okay. So from Diana, is there some language courses for Spanish in universities for students? Yes, we do have a Spanish preparatory program. So this is a one-year program. Students with zero knowledge of Spanish can join in. So within this 1 year, our lecturers would help to increase your language proficiency up to a B2 level. And then after this B2 level, the students can join in any of our degree program depending on their academic background. So I could also share with you perhaps later on where we can send out an email where I can show you our links to look into our Spanish preparatory program itself.
And what about the school student who already enrolled with like say either bachelor program or master program with you? Do they have like simultaneous classes for the language learning instead of preparatory programs?
That one will depend on the language school. So we do have a lot of offers in terms of the language. Apart from Spanish, English, we have German, French, Portuguese, Italian, Korean, Russian, and even sign language. So the language school will have a schedule, and if it fits the students, they can easily take it up as well. I saw Diana's email. Thanks, Diana. I will send you an email about it.
Okay, hopefully we don't have any more questions here. For Diana, Spanish. I know, as far as I know, like you don't have any office in Taiwan, but yeah, definitely we can. You can reach Michelle after the session if you require more information about a school or about their Spanish classes.
Because I am the delegate for Asia, so right now Malaysia is still not allowing us to travel, but once we're able to travel and Taiwan is able to accept tourists, then definitely I will pay a visit to Taiwan.
Of course, we definitely have to meet you in person pretty soon. Yeah,
Hopefully.
we have Michelle's email here. Hopefully,
Yes, correct. So here is my email. I'm also available online or WhatsApp using that number.
All right, perfect. So thank you again to join us tonight and introduce UCAM for our Taiwanese student here. And thank you, Dr. Anna and Fernando. It's pretty interesting to have you here tonight and
Thank you
today.
so much.
Samsung. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Gracias.
Anicia, gracias, don Diana.
As well.
De nada.
Gracias, everyone.
All right. So let's see each other probably next time in person.
Thank you. Yeah, that
Okay.
will be great.
Right. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye. Take care.
Okay, ciao, take care.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.